Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is ICOnlyBlue, and yes, this is the final product that you guys gonna see. I made the intro after I finished the video because I didn't know what to expect. In the podcast itself, they talked about the same subjects in a different times, so I tried to put them all together and hopefully it feels natural. There is some parts at the end that I put them on the beginning, tried to put it through subjects, and that's the reason why it took me about 13 hours to do all of this. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. This is my first time that I'm doing this. Again, welcome to my channel. My name is ICOnlyBlue. Join my Discord, join my Twitch, join my everything, where I'm streaming Tarkov, and enjoy the video. The podcast started and they immediately started talking about the high population of the server, and I want to add to this that the live stream at some point had about 135,000 concurrent viewers, which for me is mind-blowing how much the game grew and how popular the survivor genre became once again. As survivor player and streamer, I was anticipating this moment for a very long time. Survivor genre died the past few years, seeing one after the other falling due to bugs, glitches, or developers not caring enough. The past few years, we didn't have anything amazing to play or stream in the survivor category. Now it's a new beginning, and Tarkov opened the doors to the new evolution, or you could say the new hype. We saw a few months ago the RP category blowing up, and now survival is doing their comeback, and I can't wait to see what will come out of this. Nikita mentioned that they prefer to do small updates of the game and have something to show every month, rather than waiting in a corner until one day they announce a big update. That doesn't mean big updates won't come to Tarkov, it just means that big and small ones are to be expected.
12.4, then 12.5, then 12.6. As I mentioned it like before, we want to make several like pretty like good patches, like with a lot of stuff, but it will be divided in more like diversified way,
Right.
and that's why, like, I think we think it will be better for the community, for players to have something new every month. So that's the idea.
Cypriot then takes the lead and gives the real reason why EFT is doing so well, debunking the rumors that Twitch drops is the reason why it got so popular, and explains that the actual reason was the dedication of the devs and the ongoing updates they have been making.
Here's the crazy thing about Tarkov for me. Every 6 months, you guys add more content than DayZ has added in 6 years. And that's not a joke.
Yeah.
Like, if you literally take a snapshot of DayZ a year ago, it has fewer guns today than it did a year ago. Whereas each patch you add, you're like, okay, we've added like 10 guns and 70 attachments and all these different things. And for me, that's what kept me coming back. And now we've got to the point where people keep saying to me, Tarkov's only big because of the Twitch drops. And it's like, it's not big because of the Twitch drops. It's big because they just dropped 0.12 with another new map and more bosses and more loot and more features and the hideout. And it's just such a maelstrom of content that it keeps me every time I come back, I stay for more time. So the first time I went, I stopped playing for a few months. I came back, I played for a month. Then I stopped for 6 months. I came back, I played for 2 months. And now with 0.12, I come back, I'm playing it like 14 hours a day for 40 days straight. So you guys just address all the core problems in the game. You respond to feedback really well. And on top of that, instead of just, a lot of other games end up chasing their tail because they're just trying to fix the things that people moan about. While you guys are fixing the things we moan about, you're also adding just piles of content. And I think that's what made Tarkov explode. Like when people got drawn in by the drops, but then they realized like, oh my God, there's how many maps and how many bosses and how many guns and how many new things and how all the new armors and all that. It's just so good. I love it.
Nikita started talking about the servers. The high population brought many issues. If you are playing EFT the past few days, then I'm sure at some point you lost a lot of gear because the game crashed in the middle of the raid. As a compensation, Nikita gave 1 million to everyone.
The server stability, the backend issues, it's all about the overloading and stuff. Like it was, because as I said before, we added a lot of new servers, a lot of new stuff. We empowered like many pieces of equipment, and we did a really, like we continue to do this job to got the feeling that the game, like the matching times were decreased for the last several days, and they will be decreased more, and the issues still popping up because it's for us, it's still this is the kind of experience, it's new for us, and we like encounter a lot of things that we didn't encounter before. We want to make some like the little compensation for the last weekend fails. It will be a package on 1 million rubles in game currency. You need to relog into the game, and you will get this 1 million rubles just for troubles for the future improved testing purposes.
We all know Tarkov is running badly and unoptimized. Crashes, freezes, lag, and the list keeps going. To that, Nikita said that all of this will be solved within a week or two.
We really hope that we will finally fix all the issues this week. So it will be a really good thing if the next weekend will go smooth. It will be kind of celebration, like a holiday for us, if it will be okay.
Personally, I don't believe the game will run smoothly, as he mentioned, anytime soon. The game is indeed in a better stage than it was before, but you cannot deny how poorly the game runs overall. I personally believe he meant that the server stability will be better and no longer will have those random disconnections, which I hope, but saying that the game will be running smoothly is a big word. I am sitting on a very expensive rig, running my stream and the game at the same time, and I can't get over 70 FPS on a 2080 Ti. The stuttering drives me nuts, because I have a high refresh rate monitor that requires high FPS to run smoothly. Unless you are a top tier streamer with a dual PC and so on, then the game is just not there yet. It won't be for a long time. We all love Nikita and the devs. I'm not saying anything negative here. I'm just saying the truth. That's who I am and what I believe.
Yes,
Like
and we perfectly understand that it's not a good thing to actually have these issues, because the new players will see these issues and say about it. Like we'll have some discussion about. For example, I saw the post on Reddit that the new player said something like, "So what's the EFT is about? Is just about like crashing, lagging, and the backend issues, or what?" And it was not cool, and it breaks our heart, like my heart actually.
Hey Nikita, I'm a new player and I really don't want to break your heart. I know how much you love the game and how much work you put into the game. We love Nikita, that's the thing. We have to accept the fact that the game is not running smoothly, as we all want, and work towards getting it to that stage. For people like me who worry about the direction of the game, when all of this is gonna be fixed, and so on, I think Nikita addressed the whole situation in a very professional and an amazing way. It got me hyped, that's for sure.
We see how much responsibility and how much like attention we are getting right now, and it brings the idea that we need to behave, like yeah, like we need to
obey.
keep this we need to keep
going.
this we need to keep this level of like attention, to keep this level of utilization and overall working processes, and that's totally okay. I'm not saying that somebody said in chat like, "Oh, Nikita, cry baby," or something like this. And I'm not crying, actually. I'm just tired, I'm just tired. I'm totally all right. The beautiful thing is that there is still so much like cool stuff to do and actually to show you, and so much cool stuff to like for you to experience. and this gets me excited because like for us, this 3 years or even 4 years of production, it was mostly about fixing stuff actually. And right now we are getting on that line that we will just do things like cool things, features, content, and the game will be more interesting, more enriched, like with storylines, with new locations. And like I'm totally 100% sure that we will continue to excite you. Yes.
Something that actually surprised me is when Lupo asked Nikita how many people are working on encoding or coding the game, and he replied with number 15, which for me, I was very surprised about it. I thought it's gonna be about 3 people or something, because we know it's a small studio, it's a small team, but 15, maybe 20 people working on the development of the just coding is insane to me. I'm not gonna include the clip, I'm just letting you know that's what they said. After that, they mentioned about another game that Nikita wants to make that is not gonna really affect the actual Tarkov. It's something that he's passionate about, and you're gonna see the clip and see yourself. He said something about being maybe a single player or something that is still gonna be a hardcore, but it's gonna be in a different theme. It's gonna be something completely different from Tarkov.
The next step that we want to make, like the single player game, and it's not meant that we will like forget the EFT or something, because the EFT is planned for a long time with the DLCs, like a lot of them, and the game will continue to develop. And of course, we need to actually finish the game first, like not talking about DLCs. And I think there's a high chance that we will make some intermediate game between EFT and the Russia 2028. It will be something like not related to setting. It will be, maybe it will not be even a FPS game. So it will be something hardcore, like something really hardcore, but it will not be related to our current, like the setting and uh, the EFT setting. Just like to like the ease to ease the minds, like to actually relax and like to have to build something unrelated. Yeah.
The next clip is a big one, because I wanted to include the entire conversation to hear it yourself. I think what makes Tarkov special is the hardcore roots of the game that we all cannot deny. The real question is the game ever going to become a little more casual? Will it open its wings so it's more inviting to more casual players? Nowadays, games are more friendly to casuals because every company is trying to make more money. Tarkov devs don't give a damn at all. Not only will never go away from tryhard roots, but they will make it even more hardcore by adding cultists with weird voodoo that will try to melee you and poison you with their knives.
I like that it's hardcore. I hate the casual word. Everybody in an industry nowadays where almost every game is like very much considerate of the casual audience and almost so scared to push them away. You know what I mean? So it's nice to get some like fucking some hardcore shit up in this.
Yeah, and like we on to this, and nothing will change. Like even like we have a lot of these players, like a lot of concurrent users. If it will be like 10 times less, it will be totally okay for us, because the game is niche. We want like to have our really dedicated audience. Like we don't need to have all the players around the world. We just need some players who love hardcore gaming and believes in it as we do, and that's how it will stay like forever in terms of emotions and feelings. Like to have the game that will award you like hard and punish you hard too. So that's the idea, and it like nothing will change.
I think the hardcore nature of the game is what's made it extra special on Twitch. I think when people watch someone play Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever, it's kind of like kill, kill, die, kill, kill, die, kill, kill, die. And at the end, it's like, I got 20 kills, 12 deaths, and that's it. Whereas when in Tarkov, especially when you're watching a streamer who has a webcam, when they've got 1 million rubles worth of gear and maybe they've got like a red card or, you know, a weapons case or something, you can see how tense and how much they're concentrating. And the viewers get on that ride with you. And when you get shot at, they're like, oh, gee, how's he going to get out of this? And when you survive, they're on the edge of the seat. And then you're using your survival kit and you hear footsteps and everyone's just like, oh. And that's what makes it such a compelling experience on Twitch. And I think I just love that you guys are just following down that hardcore route and not being put off by anybody that's like, oh, why do the bullets kill so fast?
A couple of viewers have told me like, hey, this game's so intense that I just have to live vicariously through you because I can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like you handle the intense parts and I'll watch. And then I've even had a guy tell me, he's like, I've been playing this game and my Apple Watch won't stop going off about me having to call EMS because my fucking heartbeat keeps going too high.
You should wait for cultists, you know, because we will not say when they will be in game.
So a special raider? Is that like something that's
At the
more
rooms,
hardcore than a raider?
Well, they're gonna be all that strange religious stuff around the map. It ties
pig heads with fucking
like that pig on Shoreline that's just chilling to do pig head.
Yeah. So they will be really like creepy, and they will like try to avoid you as much as possible. They will be like totally sneaky kind of like behavior. They will have poisoned knives, and they will try to poison you. And like
Nikita,
the idea
you're saying you don't want to give people, you know, heart problems.
Yes.
When the cultists
He's concerned.
Dude, I fucking bet there's gonna be a guy just chanting in a corner.
Well, didn't you say the idea is they're supposed to be sneaky? They're even gonna try to do takedowns or just get you with melee from.
That's gonna, if you're in interchange and you're just like looking through the dark rooms and you just open the door and then they just rush you with a knife, it's gonna be so.
If let's say they have like a poison knife, are we gonna be able to loot that and use it? Because I think it'd be sick to do some.
Yes,
oh my god!
Of course.
Oh, why?
Some sneaky melee runs, dude. Are you kidding me?
What kind of effects would like poison
What are we
have
gonna
on
call
you?
them? Stablings?
Poison will be like deadly till the end of the raid. You will die. If you don't have an antidote, you will die, and have a lot of different kind of effects, like blurrish things, like
tremors and all that.
You know what would be
like
cool?
hallucinations.
Hallucinations.
Oh, you
Hallucinations.
Do you remember
That would
what
be
was
insane.
it? Team
Like
Fortress 1?
random noises, random footsteps. You know.
Yeah.
For the next 20 minutes, they were talking about the leaks that will come in the game at some point, starting with the new shotgun rounds that will have some special effects like flash and maybe smoke, and of course the high penetration ones too.
This is a different kind of ammunition, even flash bangs, explosive, like armor piercing, blunt, like it's a really powerful shotgun ammunition.
The next one is grenades, and Nikita will fill you up with more informations.
Handmade grenades, different kind of handmade grenades. For
I got
example,
a little worried. I thought that was a Molotov for a second.
this is a grenade from Underbarrel grenade launcher.
Oh,
Made
yeah?
from Underbarrel, grenade.
Oh, you just added a fuse. Okay, cool.
The next ones are not that important, but I will include them anyways. Starting with Max Room statue, a new muzzle brake, and some cosmetics. Not to mention, Nikita made sure to include Lupo's beans that he loves so much. We also gonna have a new rig, maybe armored rig, that I don't know, that is gonna be dropping by a boss. Now, who is gonna be the boss, if it's gonna be a new one, if it's gonna be one of the already existing ones, that we do not know. If you are new to the game like myself and you got lost so many times, you don't know where you are or where to go, Compass will be your solution. Also, obviously, you will be able to coordinate better with your team and make better calls.
Oh my! This is the biggest thing
Tell
right
me there's
here.
a compass
Biggest
on that
thing,
watch.
2020. It does have a
Tell
compass,
me
dude.
there's a
It does have a
compass on
fucking
that
compass.
watch.
Look.
Mother
It
of
does
God,
on the side,
finally.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Dude.
does.
Finally, we can do
That's so
Cardinal
interesting.
So
Direct.
you'll be able to
all
press it, right?
Confirmed.
And your
There's a
animation.
guy to my east, and he blacked my leg.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to blow everybody's mind is we're going to get into we're going to do the first raid, the compass. We're going to look at it, and they're all be like, "That's the wrong direction. I thought it was like every direction."
That's
we
only
used to
gonna
call this
happen
all
on shoreline.
And then the
Well,
groups are gonna rage.
Upside down.
And then all the clans are gonna rage, I had it differently in my head. Delete the compass, delete the compass.
to relearn every map. No.
To my surprise, apparently we're gonna have airdrops. Nikita said that it will be 3 different ways to obtain this package. This is actually pretty big. I believe this will change the way the game is played. Airdrops will influence more PvP and maybe give more points of interest to the players. Normal routes might be changed depending on the spawn of the airdrops.
So, like something like events. So I think they will be able to actually drop for some random moments during the raid at like total random places.
Yeah.
You've released the pictures of the airdrops,
Yeah.
and are they going to be like when the game spawn opens up? There is a static parachute drop already in the map somewhere that you have to find, or is it going to be middle of the raid? All of a sudden, you're just going to see something fly from the sky, down into the ground.
It's planned 3 types of airdrop like interaction. First one, it will be static airdrops like in different places with the chance of spawn. It will be like the simple solution. It will be just like stashes, but they will have a chance of actual appearance. The second one will be randomized airdrops like from the sky. They will be dropped from the sky in different places, different places of the location at random times. And the third one, you will have the ability to use the flare pistol and call the airdrop.
Oh, that's
What kind of
so
loot are we
incredible when
talking
you catch
about,
someone
though?
doing that. Oh,
Good loot, right? Good loot, tier 1 loot inside them, right?
Yes, mostly soap, toilet paper.
Yeah.
Vaseline.
Bandages.
Vaseline.
Yeah.
13
Guys,
rounds of everything else.
Croutons. Gotta have some croutons in there.
I'm very curious to see how the customizable rigs will work with the plates and all of that. Will that add more armor to the rig? We know for sure you will be able to change the slots by adding or removing plates. But what about the armor? When I see plates, all I think is more protection, not more slots on a rig. We don't know much about it yet, even though Lupon jumped immediately to ask Nikita about more information. All he said is you will be able to do things.
One of the biggest features this year, customizable rigs, like rigs with you will be able to actually do your like total cool tactical setups with different pouches. You can replace armor plates. It will be pretty cool. Like a really hard task to do, but it will be like really, really interesting. For me personally, I think it's the most favorite thing in the game. Okay. One of the most favorite things.
Hey, how is this going to affect the UI?
Exactly.
Like, you're going to have another section of slots. Is that going to mean more scrolling, or is there?
You will.
Or is it going to? Okay.
Is it going to be all out of raid, or will you be able to like trade shots with a guy and then take a plate out the back of his vest and plug it in your front?
You will be able to take plates, yes, but you will not be able to like
manipulate
and like withdraw like the pouches, like remove them or change them. The pouches system will be just off raid.
So you can pop a guy in the face and then go over and take out like 5 plates out of his vest and put them in your bag and then take them home.
Then use them when you're
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's gonna be
cool.
sick.
Everything will be reworked, and especially when we'll just like introduce the feature, we'll still have the old rigs in the game too, just to have some quick solutions. You buy, you go ahead and like play a raid, but like during some time before release, by release, we will remove all the preset stuff that we have right now in the game. And we'll make it just like you could able to configure it by yourself, and I think like it will be like really.
Won't that take a lot of rebalancing though? Like you said, you're going to keep the old vest in. But I also heard you say,
yes,
with the
I
new
think
system-
there will be some like janky moments, like it will need to be like temporarily balanced on some way.
Time for the thermals. I need to put my input on this one before we get to the very long conversation they had about it. What do I think? Thermals and night visions is not needed in the game at all. It breaks the immersion, period. We all know it's something realistic, but we are playing a game at the end of the day. How many times I got shot from a mile away from a guy hiding in a bush in the darkness? I don't mind dying if the other player is just better than me, but have such a powerful tool in a game, it just makes me hate the game. Let me put it in a different way. I am poor, I die a lot, because I am bad. Obviously, I can't buy that. What Thermal is doing is giving more power to the people that already have more power, meaning it makes it even harder for people like me to get better. There is no skill involved into the process, it's pure advantage. If it was something like you use a thermal, but I will take something very important from you, then it's a fair trade. Rubles is not an issue for these players. Making it more expensive won't change anything. Unfortunately, rubles don't have value due to the flea market, another breaking mechanic of the game.
Thermals, oh man, yeah, don't get me started on the thermal. Please take them out of the game.
As he just tells you he's adding more.
No.
Yeah.
What he just said, he's like, yep, we're adding more thermals, brother.
Any plans to consider a balance pass on thermals?
Yes, when there will be
Batteries.
more thermal scopes and thermal goggles, yes, there will be different balancing approaches to actually have them like playable, like not like playable. It's more like balanced. Yes, balanced.
What kind of ideas are in
Like
the pipeline?
like overall vision distance decrease, for example. Like adding more noises, like adding more specific noises related for thermal scope generation, like many different things that we can do, but we need to have such a line of these devices.
You touched on batteries last podcast. Could you just make it like you only get like 10 minutes of battery life?
Yeah, of course there will be batteries. Like it's not 10 minutes in real life.
No, it's not. But there's.
But you need to have
But
balance.
in Russia, there's some janky old Duracells that from the 60s.
And I can see
Yeah.
over a
Blind
kilometer
you.
with the thermal in real life as well. So you're saying that you can't see 200 meters.
I think is it maybe something like a balance where you look at like the cost and the accessibility of the thermals versus the actual function? Because right now you can trade in 10 helixes for a Reaper scope, which is one of the best items in the game. You know, so is it like an accessibility versus function thing for you, or is it a different problem?
I'd like to see the function come down. There's a lot of bush campers now.
I agree.
But the thing
I
is, you
think it
can't.
is.
I think one of the worst ways of balancing an item in a game is reducing its availability or increasing its price. Because there's people out there, many of us have hundreds of millions of rubles.
Exactly.
Like if they
Money's
made
not
it
an
10
object.
million rubles, it wouldn't matter to me. I don't care. So you can't ever balance around that. I think something like removing it from the flea market, making it find in raid only. So then when I die with, I don't even use thermal, but let's say I died with a thermal, I can't just go to the flea market, buy another and go. I go, oh God, I'm going to have to go and check that weapons case and check there and make it a
That's a
challenge.
really good idea.
Make a massive difference overnight.
Dude, I agree. That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, what kind of impact would the game have if you just couldn't put thermals on the flea market?
It would.
It would just improve the game.
Yeah, it would honestly.
If they didn't exist, it would improve the game.
If you go look now, Jaeger doesn't sell out of his 500 thermals. People aren't buying it through the traders. They buy
Because it's twice the price, I think, in some cases.
But yeah, if you could just change one line of code that says you cannot put thermals on the flea market and just run that for a week and see how much of a difference it makes. I personally would much rather, if my chat says to me, hey, do a thermal run. If I'm like, all right, let's see if we find a thermal today. That's so much more of a cool experience than, okay, I bought it. And people say to me, like, how much is it? I could have a bag full of thermals, 100 runs in a row and die and not care at the current price.
How do we...
Which, the way I see it, if the next wipe is like 4 months away, 4 months from now, everyone will have enough money, or the majority of people have enough money to run RePIR all day. So gameplay is literally going to be people looking at white pixels across the map and plinking at them.
It
All of a
changes the way you
sudden,
play, 100%.
it removes all the foundational skills of FPS gameplay. You can't flank, you can't reposition, you can't ambush, you can't be stealthy. There's no counter. It just basically.
I like that.
Your idea is that the thermals is pretty easy to get. Yes.
Yes.
And the money is not a very good, obstacle to get it. Yeah.
Money is no balance to anything in Tarkov.
Yeah, because there's always going to be people that are going to be super rich, and we'll always have a workaround for super high prices, both on the flea market and the barters. So,
goodbye thermals.
What if we use the durability value of the item? So the more you use it, the durability goes down quite rapidly, and proportional to the current durability of the weapon, it becomes a more staticky screen. Maybe there's more noise on there. Maybe it gets darker. And then make it really expensive to refresh. So if you use it all of a raid for 45 minutes, and towards the end of the raid it's getting staticky and bad, and you get out the raid, you right-click it, repair, it's 1 million rubles to repair it, 'cause it's a very delicate piece of machinery. All of a sudden, people will be like, oh, I'm not going to spend 1 million rubles looking through this all day. And it might encourage them to actually use their eyes a bit and just use the thermal to identify if they saw something. There's loads of different mechanics that could fix it. And those kind of things don't sound like they would take it's going to take a month of manpower and coding to fix that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a new shotgun and a new pistol. What Summit said, apparently it's something that people have been waiting for. As a new player, I don't really know much. You see the animations. And after that, we have the prawn lean new animation that is a very... probably a game-changing, if you ask me. That's gonna be dope. I'm curious to see how, in the first-person perspective, looks like and feels like, because on the video doesn't really show anything.
This is an awesome fucking mechanic, dude.
Dude, that is gonna be so sick.
That's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
Tell me we can roll as well, please.
Yeah, the next step is roll, dude. You got to be able to roll.
Please
dude.
roll.
That's really cool.
As a final item that they're gonna add into the game, they showed the machete that is not gonna be a weapon. It's gonna be, as Nikita said, a rescue tool. And shortly after, they started talking about the changes that is gonna happen into the maps, new locations, new things. It's probably gonna be a long clip, so enjoy.
This is not a weapon. It's a special device called no. It's a special device for conducting rescue operations or something.
Oh, okay.
You can tell me that's for saving people, but I'm gonna hit a guy in the face.
Yeah.
You're gonna one-shot him,
most of the
man.
time, that's gonna be for killing motherfuckers. But
Especially that's the saw side. Definitely gonna be using that. That's for sure.
Oh,
hell yeah.
You should guess. Actually, I
Interchange.
Yeah, that's on interchange. Look,
Yeah,
that's in between. That's in between tech and
That's second floor. Yeah, that's
So,
near tech light and all
Will
that.
there be items that you have
A
to get to
functioning
access these machines?
They will just decorations. There will be some couple of screenshots about new lightning on interchange, and the interchange will be rewarded.
Nice.
We added new PMC extracts for it, and we did other several cool features. You will see the interchange will be like really great.
Interchange about to be popping again.
Yes. In the 12.4, this interchange update will be live, and I'm pretty sure that that time when you will open the Kiba store, the alarm will sound, and it will draw not only Aquila, it will draw also Raiders too.
Are you guys planning on changing the loot in the store, or are you going to keep it kind of the same the way it is now?
We are changing it too. Yes, we're changing it, and we balance it. It will be a good iteration of actual overall improvement of interchange location. There will be events. There will be some cool switches and stuff. You'll be able to open new
you guys
stuff.
are like making it reserve. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Like the idea to have more interactive things like on reserve, and we will open the huge area, new area. It will be another point of interesting related to Rishala boss. So it will be kind of his like new point, and it will connect, it will connect and build the whole piece between old gas station and construction. First, like we want to make Streets of Tarkov as soon as possible, and we want to renew old maps, and we want to add lighthouse location. So
how many players do you imagine Streets of Tarkov will have at the end when it's fully developed?
if there will be like perfect situation, and we'll be when we will optimize this location perfectly, and we will make something about network optimization. 40 players, I think.
40 players.
Yes.
Is there any chance it could be 41
Dude, that's fucking thick,
players?
dude.
What? Because it's huge, and these 40 players could be vanish in the maze of the city.
I'm going to ask the
Because,
question
okay.
that everyone's thinking: how is the service going to handle that when we're
That's the question, because we see how it goes right now, and in terms of like new updated engine and like Unity 2018 and 2019, it could be possible with the new features, with the new network optimization features.
One of the most frustrating things in the game, and especially customs that I know and play so much, is the fact that dorms is the hotspot of the map. We need a more dynamic loot. People rush to rooms with no gear, get the expensive item, put it in their gamma, and just die. Adding more dynamic loot will in a way stop this rush for loot, and obviously with the expansion of the maps we are expecting more hotspots like the dorms in customs.
The loot will be changed. Actually, you should be ready for a total loot overhaul, especially for like expensive items.
Time for a very controversial feature now. VoIP. Do you guys want it or not? Let me know down below in the comments. Personally, I think it's a very bad idea. You don't want to have a random dude running around screaming so they can cover their footsteps. Or someone yelling racist things that will get streamers banned. They mentioned the radio system where they can connect to each other through a frequency, but if you ask me, don't bother. Make the voice lines UI better and leave it there.
Hey, I want to know something actually. What's going on with VoIP? I'm hearing rumors on it being added and not being added. Is that
Please
a
no.
possibility? Is that something you guys are leaning?
Still questionable, because
That's a tough choice, you know what I mean?
It is, dude.
Of course, we can, like, this is a pretty huge amount of work, and we can add this. We can take some time to actually add this properly, like it should, it should be in such kind of games as EFT. But there is, like, I just like saw many streams, many games with VoIP just to get the point, and they usually like play some shit through the VoIP and just roaming around the map. They break the immersion, and it's like it's not cool. And
but also people can abuse it, right? Like people can make a soundboard on a stream.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Play a
Just
sound
run around
as
the
if they're
map and just like
reloading or
play
something.
music. And
Exactly. Like
stuff.
most people turn it off.
The idea to have any like VoIP functionality in the game is a really good thing for me, but just in terms of radio sets, like the radio sets in the game with the VoIP to actually have like the radio set conversations, it's realistic, and it's like it's possible to actually to transmit audio files through it, kinda, and it will be good to have this kind of VoIP, but through the radio sets. So that kind of feature will definitely be in the game. But to have the actual like proximity-based voice VoIP in the game will be questionable, will be controversial. Possibly it will have a lot of different kind of problems with the.
Some further down the line things that they will add is to be able to lock back a door that you unlocked using your keys and break in doors with your weapons. I believe that has to be a thing where you shoot a lock that uses, for example, a chain, like the ones at the outside of the dorms in customs. That would be very nice.
The idea to have like relocking doors like I think it's planned actually. There are more things planned in terms of doors. For example, yes, breach and clear options, the ability to open door in different positions, like something like this, like you're standing near the
Oh,
wall
that'd
and
be
just
nice,
just
yeah.
with that movement, like destroy doors with the weapons like shotguns, the breaching door with shotguns.
Lubo brought up something that I personally wanted to ask Nikita. Kill cams. How many times we died and we couldn't understand what happened or where the enemy was? Nikita said it won't be anything like that anytime soon, but he gave his own idea on how he wanted it to be.
You brought up kill cams, and I just think
I
when
mean,
it comes to
obviously,
stuff
it has
like
to be when
that,
servers are gone. I mean, when
Yeah,
the servers are gone.
you would have to wait till the raid's over because squad.
Yeah, so I mean, like
just goes
after
to,
raid, like maybe like some video footage, you know, so you can
Yeah,
get
some
the fucking
kind of
idea
demo
of what was
system.
going on.
Like the
I know
intelligence
that's
center
I know
raid,
that's a
some tie in
huge
there?
tall order. You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
curious if that was an idea later.
Maybe in the future there will be such kind of service from a trader, like you will have the ability to watch the whole
to order
raid.
video equipment from them,
Yes,
or like order
yes.
like
Peacekeepers drones. Peacekeepers drones flying
and
around.
you'll be able to
That's
actually
interesting.
see the raid from a point of every every entity, like moving entity in the world. But again, I think it will be like not soon.
For those interested to know if it's going to be any roadmap of the development of the game, the short answer is no. Nikita said in a way, he goes with the wave. Things always change. Priorities will always change depending on the feedback that the community is giving, and of course the devs want to surprise you with features all the time. As a more generic roadmap, Nikita said that he will indeed do that. He thinks it's a good idea. He doesn't want to be too specific with the roadmap, it's just a more generic one.
Future plans that you will not know, to excite you more and have the surprise effect like stronger.
Just have an overview, a big overview on what's about to come. I think it's not a bad idea.
And have it like on the side or something, like or something like over there, like the roadmap of production. Okay, I see. I noted that.
The following conversation is about Gamma. As for now, no changes. Verita then brought the subject that I want to comment about. He said, instead of punishing hatchling, why don't you reward the people who actually kill other people? The best idea so far I heard is from Clean. He is the person who played the game longer than anyone else and has been part of the development of the game in the past. He said, what if you don't have a cooldown on your scav? Why should someone go with a hatchet if they have a scav ready to go? I agree. Usually people who do hatchling, including myself, is because we actually have 0 rubles. We are bad, we die a lot. My scav is on cooldown. What do? As an answer, Nikita said this.
The idea to like not to punish but reward is good. It's good. But you know, it's a Russian game. It's a Russian game.
It's supposed to be unforgiving. It sounds
Yeah,
like
come on,
it sounds like doing
True,
that
true.
would casualize it a little bit.
For the next few minutes, the conversation was about the flea market. If you ask me, remove it permanently. You sell to the traders, you buy from the traders, you want better things, kill someone that has them or level up your traders. Flea market serves no purpose in the game. Not to mention, the easy accessibility of everything makes the low tier things or attachments useless. If there is no way out of this, the flea market has to be in the game, then Deadly Slop gave the best solution out of everyone, in my opinion.
I actually prefer the idea where instead of doing find and raid only flea market, it's more everybody gets the same fair shake on the dealers and the flea market stays the same. So you almost give like a dealer status to the items purchased or something along those lines. But I mean, everybody gets the same opportunity. It just doesn't end if you're not there at the right time.
Exactly.
To prevent the relisting, you mean? Like if you buy it
Yeah.
from a dealer.
Well, no,
you shouldn't have to
everybody
camp the
could
trader
relisting. I mean, like everybody has the same opportunity to buy the same 150 bullets every 3 hours. Like when you choose to do that is up to you, or if you want to do that, it's up to you. I mean, the relisting will still happen, but the supply would go way up, causing the prices to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You would be able to make the choice on whether you buy from vendor or if you just don't want a quest, you just be like, fuck it, I'll pay extra for the flea.
In the current stage of the game, every few hours, some items are listed under the traders for limited time. If someone else goes and buys all of the items, then that item is not available to you either, making people camp the dealers and releasing everything for higher prices. That's what the guys were talking about. Yet another thing that I'm just waiting and waiting is Steam Audio. For those who don't know, is basically embedded directional audio. You remembered when you went to the domes and you heard someone above you, right? But then he was behind you. That is what Steam Audio will fix. When do we expect it though?
When do you see Steam Audio being implemented? Because the latest podcast you said, you said in the latest podcast, Nikita, that you just now started talking with Steam about the implementation.
Yes.
Can we have a realistic month or maybe a year or whatever?
Hour.
Year. Century. I think we will see some demo of it this month, like next 30 in the next 30 days, I think. Okay. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks we will have some kind of demo of it, because we are working on the Steam Audio. We even got the separate programmer for it, especially for this task only. And we're already talking with the Steam Audio members. Maybe even they're listening us. So hello, people, and it will be really cool to actually have this feature in the game. You will see, we will have some kind of demonstration.
They started talking about ways to calibrate and, let's say, guess the distance of your enemy, having in mind what the specific weapon you are using is zeroed at, how heavy is the rounds you are using, and so on, making the entire thing complicated for no reason. Veritas suggested something that will make the process less obnoxious, if you ask me. There is a fine line on how in-depth you want to go with a feature or the game in general. Currently, the number on the bottom right corner doesn't really mean anything to me.
That's why I was against the idea. It feels like we're casualizing a little bit, but
how though? I feel like maybe it might have been confused, because what I'm saying actually involves players going out and needing to set up their equipment and figure it out for themselves. Now today, there's literally there's no rangefinder, so you just shoot, and then the number is 50 or 100, right? The number's meaningless because it doesn't actually mean the distance. So if you should be able to choose your gun, be able to choose the bullet, and set that up. Imagine if you
need to have a rangefinder. You're right. You need to to have rangefinder or to perfectly guess the ranges in the game. You can do it too, actually. With the PSO reticle, you can actually understand and get this distance to a target. But the game will have rangefinders, and there will be scopes with rangefinders. We do not want to casualize this thing. So we will add more tools, more practical principles, and more realistic thingies that will make sniper or target acquisition more easy for you if you know the drill. And that's the idea.
That is gonna be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this unique experience that you went through today. If somehow you managed to go to the end and you're still listening to me, well, thank you, and I hope you liked it. That was my actual first time that I actually put some effort to upload a YouTube video about Escape from Tarkov. Not only that, that is kind of like my first time that I'm doing this type of a video, trimming down 3 hours of a podcast into 45 minutes and include the clips, include my own opinions and comments and all of that. If you did enjoy it, let me know down below on the comments. I want to see them. I want to know who made it to the end. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It took me 30 fucking hours to do it. So, love you all. Appreciate you all. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. See ya.